Hello there, this is Chris Assis, and today we will be talking about overthinking stuff and how you can free your mind and enjoy your dance. So I know we've touched upon it a little bit here and there in different videos, but I was waiting for just the opportune moment to get right into it, dive into it. So what usually people tell you, oh, just keep on practicing, keep on doing it, and it will become muscle memory. So you've probably already know that doesn't really work. So why that doesn't really work? The thing is that we have a bunch of rules that we follow in Tango, and you're trying to make your body work based on these rules. So this is almost backwards, almost. Not the Tango drills are not good, they're good, but they're not enough. So let's take the story from the beginning. What happens is, in our mind, we have certain movement patterns. So the movement patterns that the nervous system creates a map for all of them, and they're interconnected, and it's like amazing there. And when that happens, our mind is like, yeah, that feeling that you say, I got it. That's what happens when you've got the pattern, the map in your mind. Now, if it's just muscle doing the work, you know mechanically what to do, but you still haven't created that map. And what happens is when you block one activity from another and you don't see it move under the umbrella of movement as a whole, what tends to happen is as if you're wearing like your Tango jacket. You go into your class, you mechanically do what you're supposed to do, then you take your Tango jacket off, and as if you're a new person. And your mind doesn't have the necessary time to digest it, to pick up that pattern. It is there, but if you don't spend the necessary amount of time and you don't go with an explorative mind and spirit, you won't be able to pick up, realize, tap into that pattern. And that is what's missing. So Tango drills would do the trick, would have been enough if, one, you spent too much time, a lot of time on them, and two, you didn't think that you got it before you would actually get it. So the other problem is that we have attached to these rules, XYZ, the Tango rules, a specific Tango image. But what we see oftentimes in the mirror is not exactly what bodily should be happening. And that again creates a confusion, because you would see in the mirror that, oh yeah, that looks like what I wanted to do, but it feels awful. So you're still overthinking these things. So what do we do instead? Instead, we attack that the element we're having trouble with from various angles. Or if we don't have any trouble, we just want to get better, we attack the rules or approach the rules from various angles and in diverse with diverse practices. So this way we put our body through the movement, through that same movement with the same basic idea, but under different concepts. So we create little by little, we tap into little by little into that pattern. And at some point, as you're going to be moving, it's going to be, your brain is, you're going to feel it. It's that light bulb moment where you're like, oh shoot, that feels awesome. So, and when you get that feeling of everything being just perfect, flowy, smooth, juicy, exactly like you've imagined it would be, that's when you're there. So before That is just your muscle doing all the work. It's not the bones, it's not your breath, it's not your, even the organs, and most importantly, it's not your mind there. Your mind is running the rule algorithm. It's not free. So let me give you an example so you have a better idea of what I'm talking about. These last few days, we were talking about side steps, but did you notice how I started? I started with a video, with Bonnie's video from Body Mind Centering, a wonderful, wonderful teacher. If you didn't see it, the link is below. I started with that video because I thought to myself, okay, what is the most common problem with side steps? It is that people usually think that it's easy, and they don't realize that it's at that first side step that it's hiding all the tension, all the misalignments, all the little pains and stiffness in the hips, maybe some stiffness in the embrace. You feel it, you feel all these things from that first step, and yet we just dismiss it. So that's the first realization. Second realization, even if I just gave you the Tango drill that I gave you right after that video, it wouldn't be enough, because after a little while your mind would go, okay, yeah, side steps, they're easy, whatever. So the band would help. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the link is below. So again, the band would have helped. It still wouldn't be enough. That's why I shared the first video, because the first video helps you understand how your legs move your hips, how your heels move your hips, how your hips make your body react, how all these things, how your hips are moving around your legs. How is all of this happening when you're just doing a very simple rocking movement? Very simple, but so juicy and with so many details that every time, the more aware you become, every time you do this exercise, more and more details will come up. And so now, after realizing all these things, you stand up and you try to find that shift, to find that rocking motion, to find that upper and lower body connection, to find heel to hip connection. All these things, you try to find them standing. And then we change our angle completely, and we go from fitness. And what is the step that mostly looks like that little bridge that we had formed on the floor? Squats. So try to create the squat without tensing up, and try to move with the center being your diaphragm, being the motor of your movement. So all these things will bring better side steps, because they will make you more aware. Your mind is tapping into that pattern that has been there, because you're stepping to the side in your everyday life. You just hadn't noticed that it's there, and maybe there is some miscontinuation in that pattern, and you need to fix it. You need to fix it in quotes. You need to make it more efficient. You need to make it work better for you. So that's the idea. To better help you, if you're having trouble with breaking this down, send me what trouble you have, where is the trouble happening. So if it's your side steps, what is the trouble, when do you notice the trouble, and what you've done so far to fix it. And I'll be very, very, very happy to help you out. But the idea is you take the basic problem, or the rule you're trying to understand, you're trying to free your mind from, and you take it down to the bare minimum, and then you try to attack it from very different perspectives. If you have some background in any other activity, I'm sure there's something hiding there. So try to find it. Or again, send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to point a few things out for you, to my best of knowledge. Like, for example, I'm not really sure how bungee jumping would help, but I will do my best to figure that one out. So I'll be expecting your messages. Don't hesitate. I'll be very, very happy to hear from you and help you out. Happy holidays.